My fellow Americans, and this is George Wilson, Pastor George Wilson, running in the 2020 election for President of the United States. I want to say good evening to you guys. I want to share something with you. Many of you have asked the question, am I serious? Some of you have even literally kind of on a side note taken me, I don't know if you meant to do it or not, but some of you have taken me as not serious, or some as a joke, if you will. However, anyway, news update for you guys. Just to show you that I'm not kidding. Candidate guide for the primary on the March 30th, I gotta see if I can see it there. March 30th primary election for presidential candidate. They don't hand these books out, information guide out to just anybody. They hand it out if you're running for a federal office. I am now soon to be officially a candidate for the President of the United States. So, for those of you that still don't believe I may be new to this, but I'm true to this, come December 13th, I will be taking oath as an official presidential candidate. So it would be official December 13th of this year. I have some paperwork to get. It still has to go through, but once that paperwork goes through, you're looking at an official candidate for the 2020 election for the President of the United States. That update being brought to you by myself, and I approve the message. Okay, guys. Something it's been on my mind and it's been rattling around in my brain, and I'm not going to be on here very long. Something has been rattling around in my brain. And I'm listening to all the candidates that have taken stage platforms, early primaries, and going back and forth, listening to various ones. And there's just certain things I just not yet to hear any of the candidates talk about. And I'm going to share a few things I haven't heard them say. One, I haven't heard any candidate say anything about creating jobs for this economy, how to boost this economy and creating jobs, and how they would go about creating those jobs. Haven't heard any candidate mention that. They brushed it, but no one has talked about it. Affordable health care, again, biting at the bits. No one has literally been into affordable health care. That includes the insurance and that affordable, be able to afford medication from your pharmacy, affordable prescriptions. Haven't heard anyone talk anything about it. I heard climate change. And we talk about the Green New Deal that AOC has been mentioning, which, like I said before, has been the new Green Deal before, or named the Green Deal, not new, but Green Deal from various other presidents. This is just something just reworded. And she mentioned zero carbon for the economy, or zero greenhouse gas emissions. Interesting concept. I read read some of her articles, and she's not even running for president. She's backing Bernie Sanders, and I haven't heard Bernie Sanders say anything about this new Green Deal. Green New Deal, whatever, however she wrote it. And most people not following anything she's saying because she's not running for president and vice president. So it really doesn't matter what she says pretty much about Congress, because they've been sitting on it ever since, and they've been fighting her tooth and nail with it, her ideas, for a minute, and now they decide to sit on it. But she's still talking about it. What she would do with the new Green Deal. Interesting. Then we don't hear about election security. Nobody's talking about it. Those little little election boxes that you punch your little holes in and slip it down in those boxes. It's all calculated. The problem is it can be hacked. And the numbers can be changed for any candidate, that anyone who decided they want to mess with it. Russia was one. Who's to say this year's election in 2020, the Ukrainians won't have something to do with messing with it? Or any other country that decides they want to mess with the election this year. So we hear no one talking about election security. No one. Secure American voting equipment. Well, we don't hear anyone talking about reform campaign finances system. It's been brought up. It's been an appropriation committee, and it's being sat on in Congress. They pick and choose what they will vote on, and what they will vote on, and what they will not, and what they will do, and what they will not do. So, in other words, we have a government that's sitting wrapped up in the committees and red tape on what matters to you and to me. Oops. I see somebody getting very weary over there. I hope that doesn't get me in trouble later. Again, they got very few talking about capital punishment. For instance, Joe Biden is against capital punishment, but what are they doing about it? So they have some that are still sitting, deciding whether to abolish it altogether. In some states, there are some states in the continental United States that do not have capital punishment. But then in other states, especially the southern states, like Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, down yonder, way down there, do have the death penalty. I'm quite sure some other states around there probably have too, but so we don't hear any of the candidates talking about that. Very little of the candidates are talking about the deficit that is just about $22 trillion, and how they plan to lower that deficit. Very few are talking about free college, universities, for everyone that decide to go and want to go to college in the United States should be able to go for free. The government's afraid that they're going to spend a whole lot of money, which they will, spent a whole lot of money and their bonuses and their little severance packages, not severance packages, but you know, those incentive packages will have to be eliminated because that money's now being used not to line the rich pocket, but to help our youth to further their education if they so choose so. Again, that's also, Joe Biden said it should be for 2 years. What happens to the other 2 years? The last 2 years of going to school, what happens when you take on that loan? See, the government is playing, they're telling you, oh, we'll cover you for 2 years, but they're not telling you the whole time. They're tallying up interest on the 2 years that they paid for. So they'll tack that on to the 2 years that you now have to pay for. So it's just like paying for four entire years of your schooling. But it's not fixed rate, it's a balloon rate. Meaning you'll never come out from under that debt. But they're not going to tell you this stuff. And I don't think our young people should have to suffer with the idea of a heavy debt for college or university, and they can never do whatever they went to school for because they're under such a heavy debt to pay back the government money that should have been already spent on them anyway. My opinion only, of course. For now. We're talking about felons to be able to vote. I don't believe, personally, that a person that's paid his debts to society realize he made a mistake or she made a mistake. And once they're out of prison, I don't believe that the felony should stay on their record to keep them from being a part of society, able to vote, able to buy a car, able to get that good job, able to buy a house or to rent an apartment, to cover to have a place to stay. I don't believe that Congress should continue or the law should continue to keep them down. It's a system set up to send them right back to jail because you just made it impossible for them to feed their family or to even clothe and feed themselves or shelter themselves. And the first thing we look at them as, oh, he's a felon or he's an ex-offender, blah, 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 blah. Who gives a dang about you? And then we leave these people on the street or to fend for themselves. And then when they go do something that, hey, they're just trying to survive, oh, y'all want to just say, oh, he's a repeated offender, throw him back in the county jail or throw him back in the prison again. For what? When it's just simple. Just to take the felony off of their records and let these people be people again, but let these people be respected again, to start all over again. Everybody deserves a second chance at life. And it's not the right of the federal government or the judicial system, the Supreme Court, or however far you want to go with this, to keep people down, especially Afro-Americans. And and Latino American or Hispanic Americans, because these are the two ethnic groups that the judicial system is trying to keep under thumb or under feet. Again, if you allow these people to start over again and have the right to vote, that's more votes. That's more revenue. That's a more productive citizen. You know what I'm saying? That helps the economy. But when you keep them down, how's that helping the economy? As your president, I'm going to fight for that. Because it doesn't make any sense. I'm going to fight for everyone. Every American citizen I will be fighting for. Their rights. Some say, well, what about the ones that are in jail, that are in prison with life sentences? I believe they still should have a right to vote. They got more rights inside the daggone prison than they do outside the prison. Why not give them the right to vote? Why? Because they're bad people? Really? What does a vote for what president they decide to choose have anything to do with their sentences? Nothing. Well, you give them the right to vote, that means you give them the right for anything else. What's the use of putting them behind bars? See, if that's the thinking that we have, then we'll never be united. We'll always be fighting over something. We'll always be separated for something. We cannot function as a nation, as Americans, as a people in a whole, if we're constantly always finding ways to keep each other down. Martin Luther King made a statement. I'm through. He said in his I Have a Dream speech, he said that he prayed for a day that his 3 children would not be judged by the color of their skin, but the contents of their character. He had a dream that we all come together and be one. Brothers and sisters, no matter if you're white, Anglo-Saxon, Aryan Asian, one with swastikas, blacks, whites, Jews, Gentile, Catholic, Protestant, Hispanic, Asian, it doesn't matter. He had a dream that we all can work together and walk together as a people. Here today we have that dream. His dream came to pass. He didn't make it to be here today. But his dream lives on with you and I. And that was one of the most important part of democracy is the segregation in the South. That's what Abraham Lincoln spoke about with the proclamation, the proclamation. Something like that. I can't think of the way to say it. It eludes me. I know it's proclamation something. But anyway, we're talking about a dream. And we're living that dream. Whether you like it or not, you're my brother. You're my sister. It don't matter your color, your creed, your ethnicity, your background, rich or poor, criminal or non-criminal, straight or gay. Doesn't matter, we're people. We're one. Some of us a little off in the head somewhere, but okay. Some of us have different beliefs, system, okay. Some of us believe deeply in unnatural things, but that's okay. We are still a people. And we're supposed to be united. We cannot be united and stand strong as a nation, as true Americans, and we're constantly fighting each other. I believe if Dr. Martin Luther King had lived today, he would be overjoyed to see that all his hard work in the South paid off. And then he would be deeply saddened to see that everything he fought for and died and experienced and almost died for is being squandered and wasted because of bickering and fighting and racism. Believe me, my friends, still exist. We still fight each other over color. When you got a president that's in the White House that is a known, proclaimed racist, and all they're doing is trying to separate us once more again, because this one don't like that one. And I believe Dr. Martin Luther King, when he rolled over in his grave, he knew that his very dream that he fought for and died for is being squandered by those, again, as he called, when he was talking to the Union in his speech in Memphis, his sick white brothers. Now, these are Martin Luther King words, not George Wilson's words. Something, I'll leave you with this, something Obama said. Former president's got to respect him. President Barack Obama said in his speech that got him the White House. It's something he said after he was leaving the White House. He said he didn't see color. All he saw was people. Basically saying he saw everyone as equal, no matter what level of education, no matter what level of income, whether you was a single parent, two-family parent, whether you had kids, you didn't have kids, whether you working a dead-end job or you was working a high-class job. He did not look at Americans as divided, though he spoke on it several times. But his theme was, yes, we can. And we will. And you did. Last thing he said in his speech in Chicago is farewell address as being the President of the United States. He said, if you don't like the way government's being run, he said, stop talking about it, roll up your sleeves, get your clipboard, get the signatures, and you change government. That inspired me. Believe it or not, I had my reservation about a whole lot of things in the Obama administration. First 4 years was like, wow, he's going to really do something. Yeah, a little shaky here and there, but it was like, okay, I'm not nobody's, puppet. I'm the President of the United States. He made clear that everybody understood he was the President of the United States. Probably behind the scenes didn't like the idea, but anyway, we won't go there. But anyway, but it was the last 4 years that I had issues with. A lot of things started coming out. A lot of things that he was standing for, it kind of went south. Not like, shook my head. But there were some good things that he did. And the idea of a black man or President Barack Obama, let's put it that way. Whether it's Kenya or Kenya citizen or United States citizen, it's all history now. It really doesn't matter what he was, what he is. It's water underneath the bridge now. He's former. But it was a open door for people like myself, Hispanic Americans, Native Americans, Asian Americans, to try hard and to get out there and make things happen. That the door was open, that any of us had the courage and the heart and the mind and the willpower to endure. With Jesus Christ, our head, we can run for any public office there is, including the President of the United States. And as I look at the field that's ahead of me, a lot of people have that dream and they're out there. That when he stepped in the office, that opened over it, wide open. Something else I haven't heard recently either. Now we got a couple of women out there in the Democratic Party running for president. But you know what I want to do? And I'm going to share this with you guys. And I mean this from my heart, and anybody know me, I keep it real. I am running for your President of the United States. For the President of the United States. And you know who I want running with me as my Vice President? Someone Donald Trump despises. Anyone from the Latino community. I want my Vice President to be a female. And of the and a Hispanic American. That could be Mexican, that could be Honduran, that could be Puerto Rico, especially Puerto Rico. I want my running mate, my Vice President, a woman. A Hispanic woman. It's time for women to get into the White House, not working as secretaries or working under somebody. Oops. Bad way of putting that on. If women could become deputy sheriffs, sheriff, police chiefs, Capitol Police, governors, mayors, senators, House representatives, why a woman can't run to be a vice president? We got women in the field running for president, but I've seen there is very few I've seen run for vice president. And if there are any that's running, and I don't mean this to be racist, I've been looking, and all I see a few black women, maybe 2 black women maybe in the race for president, and I see quite a few white women in the race. I don't ever think I remember seeing a Hispanic woman running for president. Oh, I don't see nobody running for vice president. And women, as far as I'm talking about. So far. At least I didn't see them. But I would like my vice president to be an Hispanic woman. So you got the drive, the heart, and you can already be prior politician. And you got the heart and you got the desire. And you want to do something greater than yourself. And the people mean more to you than a position, an office, or government. and you believe in the values, and you value human life over it above all things, other than God, of course, and it's about government, it's for the people, by the people, that every American life matters, even those that are still in the womb, their life matter. I'd like to talk to you. I'd like for you to contact me. I'm on Instagram, of course, Facebook. What's that one? Twitter. I have several accounts that have my number. You could message me via Facebook. Messenger, rather, shall I say. I would like to talk to you. Set up a meet. You could be from Puerto Rico and you live in the United States. That would be preferable. But if you live in Puerto Rico, but I guess we have to make it. We may have to make an arrangement somehow. But I want to talk to you. Share my views. See, we're on the same page. We could take this race by storm, especially when they're not expecting us. But that's what I want my vice president to be, a woman, a Hispanic woman, in her 30s. Well, of course, you have 35. So somewhere in the neighborhood would be 35, 40s. Why so young? Because you got 8 years. She'd be 50. No matter. Age doesn't matter with me. But I'm looking for someone that we can relate on the same page about foreign policies, government, issues that face the American people. So if that be you, I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to. And don't be coming all at one time. I'll talk to each and any one of you want to come. It don't matter. But that's what I want to do. Actually, it's always been in my heart that when I did run for president, that my vice president would be a woman. A Hispanic woman at that. Not that I'm discriminating against black women. Please don't y'all get all in a bunch and start turning like chicken heads. No. This is God's plan. So, we all prosper together. We all move together. We all achieve what? Together. And together, we'll become a powerful nation again. And we can be proud and stand tall and be proud to be American once again. The most feared nation in the world. Vote for George Wilson. Absolute Truth 2020. God bless you and good night. And we'll be talking again real soon.